Hello children. Today I Kahani Wali Nani am going to tell you a story based on the famous fairy tale Pinocchio. And the story is Pinocchio and Gepetto. Listen children. There was a carpenter named Gepetto. He lived in a small town and made beautiful wooden toys. Gepetto was kind and gentle in nature and loved children. He would often become sad. Why? Because he had no children and lived all alone. He would say, "Oh God, how nice it would be if I had a child of my own." One day, Geppetto found a nice piece of log in the forest. He carried it home and began working on it. Children, do you know what Geppetto made out of it? Yes, a wooden boy. When he finished, he exclaimed, "Wow, what a beautiful boy I have made! The most beautiful toy I ever made." Gepetto was tired and he went to sleep. While lying on his bed, he thought, "Oh, I wish this toy turns real, who can talk and walk, jump and dance. Then I would take him to be my son." And soon he fell asleep. Fairy Queen, who was passing by, overheard Geppetto. She knew Geppetto was lonely and was very kind. She decided to fulfill Geppetto's wish and waved her wand over the wooden toy. And what happened? The toy smiled and began to jump. He said, "Only if I would be a real boy." The fairy queen smiled and said, "Yes, you can be a real boy, but only you have to be a good and a brave boy. And yes, never lie." "Sure, fairy queen," said the toy. In the morning, Geppetto looked around and said, "Oh, where's the toy boy I made yesterday? I kept it here before going to bed, but it isn't here." Just then he saw someone singing and dancing, and it was the same toy. He shouted and ran and picked him up. He became happy and said, "Now onwards you are my son. I am your father. I will call you Pinocchio." Geppetto was very, very happy. The whole day he talked and played with Pinocchio. Now, as time passed by, Geppetto decided to send Pinocchio to school. And one day he said, "My son, education is very necessary for all of us, and you have to go to school for it. See, I have bought a bag for you and books also." And next day, Geppetto dressed him up for school. He said, "Pinocchio, be a good boy and go straight to school." "Yes, father." "Okay, goodbye," said Pinocchio, and he set off for school. On the way, he saw a tent. "Oh, it's a circus tent." And Pinocchio grew curious and decided to see the circus. As he was entering the gate, a man stopped him. "Show me your ticket, please." Pinocchio said, "What ticket? I don't have any." And the man explained him to go to the counter and buy it. Pinocchio had no money, but yet he wanted to see the circus. He forgot all what Geppetto had told him, and what did he do? He sold off his books and bought the ticket. Inside, a show was going on, a puppet show. And Pinocchio said, "Oh, these are all jumping with the help of the strings." And what did he do? He jumped on the stage and began dancing and singing. Seeing Pinocchio, all the audience began clapping. The owner of the circus was surprised. A wooden puppet singing and dancing without the help of strings? Oh, I can earn a lot of money with his performance. And what did he do? He went and after the show, he caught Pinocchio. He didn't allow him to go back. Pinocchio was scared and started crying. He tried to get himself free. He shouted, leave me, let me go, please let me go." And then what happened? The fairy queen came and rescued him. She said, "What are you doing here, Pinocchio? You were going to school, isn't it?" And Pinocchio said, "Yes, fairy queen, I was going to the school, but I lost my way and came here." And then a strange thing happened. Pinocchio's nose grew a bit long. "Where are your books?" asked the fairy queen. "Oh, the books. You know, fairy queen, that owner of the circus took away my books and he caught me." Now Pinocchio's nose grew longer and longer. He shouted, "Oh, what is this happening to my nose? It's becoming so long. How funny am I looking?" Now the fairy queen said sternly, "Pinocchio, you are lying. Tell me the truth, or your nose will grow longer and longer every time you tell a lie. I told you, I warned you not to tell a lie, isn't it?" Pinocchio had no other option but said, "Yes, yes, I will tell you the truth. I myself came to the circus and I sold my books to buy a ticket. But my nose, oh," at once Pinocchio's nose became shorter to the original size. "Okay, Pinocchio, don't cry," said the fairy queen. And she got him the books back and said, "Now be a good boy and mind you, straight to school. Understand?" "Yes, yes, fairy queen, straight to school." And now Pinocchio set off for school. On the way, he met a man. He stopped him and said, "My child, where are you going?" "To school, of course, to study," said Pinocchio. "Oh, why don't you go to the toyland? See, you can learn there everything that you will learn at school. In addition to that, you will get lots of toys to play with, ice creams and chocolates too." "Really? Where is it? How can I go there? Is it very far?" "Nice. School, I heard it is very boring." "Yes, I'll come with you." And the man said, "Don't worry, I will take you there." And Pinocchio went with him. And what did he see there? He saw many children were there playing. Pinocchio became happy. Why? Because here there were all sorts of toys, chocolates, tubs full of ice creams. After a while, after playing for a while, Pinocchio was shocked. Why? Because his ears became big, like that of a donkey, and a tail started growing on his back. Children, actually, the man was a wicked magician, and with his magic, he would change boys to donkeys and sell them off. Pinocchio looked around and saw that the children had become donkeys. He got scared and began crying. And his voice also became like that of a donkey. He started braying. Hearing his cries, Fairy Queen came and rescued him again. And then she said, "Pinocchio, I told you to go to school. Then how come you came here?" "Oh, Fairy Queen, actually I lost my way. And this man promised me to take me to school, but he brought me here." And at that moment, what happened? Yes, Pinocchio's nose became longer and longer. "See, Pinocchio, you are lying. See your nose? You are a bad boy," Fairy Queen said. Seeing his nose growing longer and longer, Pinocchio was scared. He at once said, "Sorry, Fairy Queen, sorry." And he told the whole thing to whom? To Fairy Queen. And said, "This time I promise you I will be a good boy. Never say lies. Please forgive me this time." And with that, what happened? Pinocchio's nose came to the normal size. Now the fairy queen said, "See, Pinocchio, your father Gepetto is very worried about you. He has searched you everywhere, and when he did not find you anywhere in the town, he went to search for you on the seaside." Hearing this, Pinocchio, without wasting a second, he ran towards the seashore. He saw Gepetto diving in the sea, and also he saw a big whale was going behind Pinocchio. Before he could save his father, what happened? The whale swallowed Gepetto. Pinocchio was shocked. He went near the whale, and when the whale opened his mouth, he too was in the whale's tummy. It was dark inside, and Pinocchio shouted, "Father, I'm Pinocchio here." Now Geppetto hugged Pinocchio. Pinocchio began thinking of a way to get out of whale's tummy. He said, "Father, don't worry. We will surely get out of this tummy of the whale. We will tickle the whale again and again, and when it sneezes, we will be out." And yes, the whale began sneezing very badly, and both Geppetto and Pinocchio were pushed out. Both of them swam quickly to the shore. And guess who was there at the shore waiting for them? Yes, the fairy queen. She waved her wand and said, "Pinocchio, I have seen that you have really become a very good and a brave boy. You jumped in the sea to save your father. And so, as I promised you, I'm giving you a heart and making you a real boy." Pinocchio and Geppetto both were very happy. They hugged each other and thanked the fairy queen. So, children, you must have well understood that one small lie can create a big problem. Also, that if you disobey your guardians, you may land into trouble like Pinocchio became a donkey. So, children, how did you like this story, Pinocchio and Geppetto? And children, you can hear more such interesting stories on my YouTube channel of Kahani Wali Nani. You can subscribe and do press the bell icon so that you never miss a new story from me. If you like the story, press the like button and send your comments too. You can share the story with your friends by clicking on the share button. And we'll meet you again next week with a new story. Till then, goodbye. Take care.